Today's guest is a very prominent name within our community. The last 20 years, he's been absolutely grinding and hustling, building his name from just doing video, starting DJ. I believe he was also printing out his name and his little flyers and tossing it places, sticking it everywhere, making a name for himself. Today's guest is the owner and employee too of Maharaja Events, that used to be known as Singh's Production, Mr. Parneet Singh, man. Welcome to the show, brother. Thank you
for having me.
So, what are all the things you do right now, man? You're not just a Mandap guy or a one-stop shop. What does that consist?
Well, we pretty much do video, like video shooting, photographing, somewhat DJ. Full decor, so from chair covers, backdrops, centerpieces, whatever. And I can say we own one of the largest Mandap collections from half of Texas, this side of the U.S., like West Coast pretty much.
So you're pretty much in the Limo as well, right?
We do, yes. Limo is in the Limo right now, but it's there.
Okay, so do you have a driver, or you and the wife just drive each other around?
No, we have a company that pretty much we contracted the limos out, and they handle it because it's too much for me to handle. So that's why.
So we'll kind of get right into it, right? So you are a one-stop shop. You're the owner. Do you feel like any portion of your company or your business or aspects struggle because you're not just focusing on one thing? You have such a broad.
Not really struggling wise. I try to stick my head everywhere where we can. That hey, it's gonna work, and planning for each thing where it doesn't fail. So how big is your operation right now? How big is your team? We have four guys that handle the decor part. One of the guys is also our videographer. We have a photographer. She's been with us at least 5 years. Okay. And besides them, I have my mom, my dad.
It's a whole family.
It's a whole family. The wife sometimes steps in. So any flowers you see, it's her. So that's it. That's so pretty much.
So you started with doing video, right? Now I hear this a lot, right? Anyone can do this. Anyone can do that. He got lucky. So my thing is, you're right. Anyone can pick up a camera, but it takes a lot of dedication and consistency, right? So what was your thing? What was the reason behind you starting up doing video?
I'm gonna go really, really back where I was 4 years old when my dad handed me a camcorder. It was probably bigger than me in Fiji. So no one hands a very expensive camcorder to someone in Fiji.
They don't.
Just to record. So I just did that, and I kind of liked it. Electronic was always a passion. When we came to the U.S., Dad always had camcorders, cameras. I was playing with it. Then when I was 15 years old, I was like, hey, do you want to do a wedding? That's a family wedding.
At 15?
At 15.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. So, don't know nothing. Yeah. Seen all these videos that people told me about. So, don't know nothing. Pick the camera, charge the batteries. Let's go. Did the Tawan, the wedding. Showed up to the wedding. I'm 15 years old with a tiny camera. Back then, if you have a tiny camera, you're Joe Schmo. If you have the biggest camera, you're the big shot.
Regardless if you know how to use it or not.
Yep, it's more, the bigger the camera, the more the stuff on it, you are the camera guy. If not, go sit in the corner. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I did that, and that's how it started. Then we did her sister's wedding.
Okay, so that's when you got kind of the bug, right?
Yeah, and that's when the balls on the roll.
So how do you kind of evolve it to that, and then eventually getting it started to where you're at today? How did that go about? When did it realize like this could be something here?
So everything we have added to the business is because somewhat way some clients got screwed over, or I saw potential where I can do this and save people money.
Okay.
Where other vendors were saying, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't get this price, you can't do that. Well, every time I heard you can, you cannot, that was okay, go, I'm gonna do it.
So we'll start from the beginning, right? So you said clients were being screwed over. So like they went somewhere else, they asked for something, they were like, no, you can't have this. And you're like, oh, okay, if they're not providing this is something I can add to mine.
It was more, a lot of the things applied to me, like photographing applied to me. My personal events, the people that we referred, always worked for us, wasn't taking care of us. So I said, dude, I take care of you, you can't take care of me. So, pissed me off. Let me just start my own thing now. And guess what? My father did pictures back in Fiji that I never knew about. So I have someone sitting there with all the experience, doesn't, I don't know about it. So the day I found out from my mother, hey, we're gonna go get cameras. Got cameras, and he was shooting with me for a couple of events. And same thing, for the next thing, we added Mandaps. Because I got sick and tired of people using Home Depot gazebos as a mandap.
Okay.
That you just paid $200, but you want thousands of dollars for.
But I mean, that's quite the shift. So did you build your first one? Did you figure out how people get it from India? Or how does that work?
No, my dad is the backbone of the mandap portion. So he figured something out, and internet was the hottest thing back then. So we just found it, saw some pictures, ordered it, came, wasn't what we saw, but we had to run with it.
So when did it start? Like, okay, it wasn't what you saw, but you're like, okay, there's potential here. Like, when do you make the shift to like go to India and pick these things out? Like, how's that?
After our second mandap, it was supposed to be my sister's wedding. We said we're going to go hand pick a mandap. So we looked online, we saw this amazing crystal mandap. It came, didn't even look close to it. So then, we hired a different company, good family friend of ours. They did the wedding, but at that point my dad was like, you know what, we're done spending money. Thousands and thousands of India, we're getting screwed over. So he actually ended up finding a different vendor.
So this is when you guys go over there.
So he started going there. And again, still, when that shipment comes, we don't know what, we're looking at photos and orders.
Right.
So, one came, two came, then this was like a normal, like if you're going to Walmart to buy something, this is what I get.
So now you have photo, video, you have Mandap, and then you slowly transition into DJing, or is that?
DJ has always been a passion.
Okay.
I have sold my system 3 times and I'm buying one again. I bought it again. It's sitting in the warehouse collecting dust, but I have it because it's a passion. It's like a hobby. I love music. Who doesn't love music?
Okay.
So it's always been a passion, and it became more passion to turn into DJ when I was in Sydney, Australia. My older cousin was one of the most top 3 Sydney DJs, and I kind of took over his name, DJ Raja. That's where the word Raja under my name comes from. So we kind of ran with it. So we've been doing that, and we started DJ very small. I did it. That's right when we started getting mandaps and video and photo. My sister came along, trained her. She was one of the first DJs as a female doing Sacramento.
So when all these things come together, like around what year is this? 2005?
2004 or 5.
And then around what time does your name start getting around that, like Parneet and his family are doing all these things?
So my name has always been the camera guy since I've known it. Then we started adding all these things, and by 2007, I believe, or 2008, we started taking off.
So what was that competition like around that time? Like I guess within our
It wasn't. There was competition, but there was a lot of older guys that stuck to one thing,
Okay.
and they never want to grow out of it.
Alright.
And for me, being a youngster, every time I went to events, I was told to quit my business and work for them. I said, "What, you quit your business and work for me?"
As your video, right?
No, video and everything.
So were there other guys that were considered a one-stop shop around the time you started, or
No,
okay?
there was none. They were made. They called themselves "We Have Everything."
Mm-hmm.
They never physically owned everything.
So they would rent.
They went somewhere else to rent something, so it wasn't theirs.
How big is your inventory right now?
We have over 15 Mandaps. 2 are brand new, that makes it 17.
Okay.
They're not open yet. They're for our brides for 2020, but COVID happened, so they got pushed, and we're still in testing it.
Okay. So I mean, that's inventory. That's the business side, right? So now you have customers coming on. You know, you can kind of finagle your way with a camera. You can figure yourself out, putting mandaps together, color matching, all that stuff. When does learning customer service and how to deal with different personalities? When does that come into play?
So customer service came when I worked for Best Buy.
Okay.
So I was, once I started Best Buy, I eventually grew myself in there.
Mm-hmm.
And once I reached a level, they started putting me flying places to me, flying different places, and learning customer service skills. Took a couple of classes, and just dealing with people right there. And my best thing was I was with one of the best managers money can buy. So I learned a lot. And really going back to customer service, when I was 13 years old, I had my first job at an Indian store. This guy can sell anything to anyone.
What did you buy with your first paycheck? Pair of shoes?
For Jordans.
Still have them?
Yep.
Anything else?
Jordan 14 in a box. And I bought a coffee table.
Still have it?
Yeah, it was 11. It's one of the most expensive furniture stores. Still got it. Still, he does the spinning things.
What does a 13-year-old need with a?
But mother needed it. Mother needed it. She needed it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it for her. So, it's those things that hold, like Jordans, I couldn't afford it. Parents couldn't afford it. So it was one shoe the whole year. And a lot of people are relate to this when I say one shoe whole year. Everyone, a lot of us got it. So when I got the first paycheck, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy those $150 Jordans. 14. The last shoe when Jordan retired. Still got it. Still dirty. I'll look at it sometimes.
I can resonate with that, man. I still have my Nike flights I bought when I was like a junior in high school. I stopped growing so I can still continue fitting in those shoes. So I mean, you have that, right? I mean, it's obviously a reminder as to where you were,
Yeah.
where you are now. I mean, as a business to grow, if you don't have anyone to go against, if you're a Walmart and you don't have a Target to compete with, do you feel like you're going to do the absolute best?
No, but I still slap my hand. Like, hey, someone's gonna grow tomorrow.
Okay.
Because that someone was me back in the day. So every client, every event is my first event to me. I still stress out. It's like a Mickey Mouse thing, but I still stress out. Like, hey, it's better be perfect.
Yeah.
It's my name on it.
Does it depend on who the client is or maybe how customer service goes? Because I mean, at the end of the day, every time you put up a Mandap or do something else, granted you're doing it for the client that's paying, but it's also advertising for all those people that are sitting there.
Yeah.
Because those are potential customers.
They are. And the thing is more of, I look at when we get done,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the last one to leave that venue. I sit in the chair, pretend that I'm a guest, and I'm gonna look at everything. Because when you're sitting there for 6-7 hours at an event, you get bored already. But you're looking to nitpick now.
Yeah.
You're not nitpicking on my decor, you can nitpick on something else.
So when did you start getting into, because like, he did my wedding, right? I've never met a guy that knows so much about silk and like different type of cloth Not clothing, cloth. So when does that come about?
I did we did Mandap so and decor wise came when one of my brides on engagement day walked in expecting her colors to be pink. It was royal blue.
Okay.
It looked like a first birthday for a baby boy. And was just crying, and I looked at him like, my brides will never cry because somebody else did the decor over her.
So how long ago was that?
I think 5 years ago.
5 years ago?
I believe so. We were doing small stuff, nothing big scale.
Mm.
But that bride turned me over. She knows who she is when she hears this. And, you know, that's where we got the decor side. Then, when my personal event happened, that's where we added the Shawari chairs.
Right.
And because I was told, you know, I couldn't get it for cheaper, well, I'm just gonna buy it and make it cheaper. So, and we just did it.
So that happened 5 years ago. Now you have a daughter who's 2?
Yeah.
2?
18 months.
18 months. I was close. Does that change your, like, now you're a father of a daughter, does that change the way you deal with brides at all, or?
No. It's a girl's dream. It's a girl's dream to get married and have a dream wedding. And that's my goal from day one, the dream wedding.
Okay.
So no matter, you know, it's like we're boys, we want to have that exotic car, we want to have this. A girl wants to have a wedding.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So what is the shift? I mean, like, even when I was getting married, I wasn't mature enough to understand that, right? So, like, when does that click? Like, this is a girl's dream and all that stuff. Is it just dealing with different brides?
It's seeing that one bride cried, that wasn't happy. Then I heard multiple other stories from other vendors, other clients, from other companies, and the fire just started.
What was your approach before that day? Before the
I already had a job at Western, so I didn't really care. It was like, hey, this is extra money. I'm gonna put more parts in my car. I had a Corolla, so everyone had a Civic, so I had a Corolla. And that was it. And just do whatever I want to do with the money.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a lot of money. So, but slowly we just kept adding and kept meeting these brides and just, hey, you know, we're gonna do it.
So, I mean, like, you know, talking to your family and stuff before the interview, which I did. That's research. Research, brother.
I found out.
Yeah.
They're called.
No one can keep a secret, man. Anyways, so, like, clearly there was an instinct in you to have a business, right? Because you were really promoting yourself. You told the story about, you know, you asked someone, like, hey, I'll do your whole wedding, whatever, $50, right?
Yeah.
There was something in there. So when you say, like, you had a job, you know, it was whatever, I mean, that's not true. You know, maybe for the time being it's true, but there was a passion to make something bigger out of this, right? Persistence is kind of the key here, right? So, like, did you kind of go, like, you were on a high and then you're on a low? Like, how
2009, when the economy dropped, 8 and 9, we had literally 3 events the whole year. I wanted to quit.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 Mandaps. 2 Mandaps. We had close the business, sell it. Father was the biggest backbone. You don't have a job, why do you get to leave it? It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We had stuff stored at our house. So that time, if I would have given up, I wouldn't be sitting right now. So then, you know, hey, just picked up again, started adding more, started doing more, kept doing it. And it just, you know, I don't know what to say. It just went with the flow. I knew that I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to own a business. I never wanted to work for anybody else. It was a dream.
Yeah.
Never cared for it. You know, everyone dreams.
Before the internet, because you've been doing this, or you've had a hand in this for a good 20, 21 years now, right? So that's definitely before Facebook.
So it
That's
was
a little bit before MySpace.
believe it or not, I'm gonna kind of take a detour now. I met someone that actually followed me on MySpace, and I never knew this.
Okay.
That actually had a fake page, I did promoting on it, so I forgot about it. So MySpace kind of helped out, but I was business cards at every Indian store, putting them out,
Yeah.
asking the owner nicely, getting the third degree. Why? What am I gonna get? I'm gonna do. If you get married, we'll take care of you. And
That's a lot to offer just for a little card.
Yeah.
placement, man.
So and people picked up those cards and they called.
Yeah.
Again, I was a newcomer. They took a chance. So I give applause to every of my older clients that I meet. I make sure I go say thank you because they took a chance to keep me up and word of mouth. Some families we did 4 to 5 brides.
Yeah.
And that's how it took off. It's more putting business cards on tables, promoting ourselves, and talking about it to people.
So at that point, I feel like the weddings that we see today, I really doubt it was like that 2001, 2002, because it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Gender reveals are killing people now, right? Like, that's how massive everything's gotten. So at that point, how was the competition then? And then, how do you deal with negative feedback, right? Because the majority of it is people seeing your cards and word of mouth. So how do you come back if someone gives you a negative feedback at that point?
Back then, feedback was pretty much a phone call to you.
Yeah.
Hey, your stuff sucks.
That's gotta be demoralizing, right? A little bit.
Hey, okay, so every time someone said something to me, I didn't brush it off. I took that as a learning tip.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen again. So I made a self note in my head, this will not happen. Did video in the beginning, I was zooming in a lot. I thought it was cool. It got annoying. Someone said, hey, stop doing that. Someone else told me, hey, when you do video, make sure you record the whole. So I got all these pointers, but I never brushed it off. I took everyone's advice and applied it.
But it's not the easiest thing, right? Because when you show up, you don't really know the person and what they want to see anyways, right? There are people who when you go to a wedding, they're like, hey, make sure you zoom into that family because they came from abroad. How are you supposed to know those things? So how do you combat those things?
So now, for years, when we walk in, we find the homeowner, we ask them, what are your expectations? What do you want me to cover? What are we not going to cover? Nowadays, we don't cover dinner. People eating after Facebook.
Thank God, yeah.
We stopped doing that. So we just go out. And same thing with our guys. Hey, the first thing we do, we have to go ask the surprises. Hey, what are the surprises? Is someone flying in?
Yeah.
Is someone coming from the back door? We want to know. We want to capture everything. So we believe in a Cinderella story. Everything has to be captured. Besides the food. But, we don't have anything. So we just capture everything, take pictures every way, same way. Same thing goes for decor. We set the expectations beforehand. My thing is, we are argue, hit our heads on the wall, but the day of, we better not be doing that.
Okay. I've known of you for a good 10, 15 years, but maybe this is probably the first time we've really sat and talked. You're a big personality. Why is it that your circle is so small?
Going really, really back, what my father always told me, hey, you have friends when they want something. That's what you want your friends for.
So how far back is that?
I was a kid. And every time someone said something to me, I applied it. Someone I threw it in the back of my head, okay, it's there. Someone said it has to be good. So I had friends. I never had a best friend. Never someone that I can call, hey dude, this is so happening. It's more of my friends to a point we go. Circle is small. Since I was in middle school, I wasn't the most like kid. I don't know why. Maybe I have that look on my face like, hey, this guy is an ass. But I'm not. I'm a cool guy, but everyone thinks I'm mean, so the circle just kept going smaller.
I mean, personalities change from middle school to high school and then a little bit after you graduate, right? I mean, like I was an introvert throughout middle school. I mean, my circle got a little bigger senior year and after. But like, do you feel like in a position where you're at right now, maybe it's a little bit harder to get close to people? Because I mean, like, you have to feel like maybe someone's getting close because they need something, right?
I'm gonna go. It's always been the same. I don't know why. I'm gonna be honest with you. I look at when I was a kid, when I was now, tomorrow. It's the same that I come off differently. That I look like I'm that mean person, but I'm not.
Do you think that's kind of how really people see it, or that's how you see it?
Maybe that's how I see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But everyone that I do talk to, they're like, yeah, you're like, you look at me like this. You look mean. You're like, I'm like, but I'm not. Like, you have to. I can't change. Smile more. I'm like, I can't smile more.
Well, I mean, I can understand if you're at a wedding and you're like part of the event and you're doing stuff there, and someone tries to approach you. I can understand in the heat of the moment because you're looking at every single thing, and here's some guys trying to catch up with you.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, do you think maybe that has a lot to do with it? Or?
He probably does.
Yeah.
And I'm there doing something. I say hi, hello. I don't smile much because I don't know anyone. If I'm smiling, like, why are you smiling at me?
Do you think your success someone has to do maybe with that? Like the fact that you don't have a whole lot of distractions with like outside noise and you're just kind of...
Could be. It probably is.
Have you ever thought about it?
I took this business really seriously when I started losing clients at age 19 because I was too friendly, too open.
Really?
And a lot of people didn't like that. So then slowly I had to change my circle with the people that I was working with and kind of go. And the main reason for that probably was my mother. She was always like, hey, focus. And the reward got off, hey, these guys are too friendly.
So when you say friendly, it's like when you're sitting with a client, a little bit of the client is desperate because they want your services, but is it like you can't come off so desperate that you just end up giving everything in return for nothing? Right? When you say open, you mean like, yeah, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this? Or do you have to learn how to say no? Like, this is what we'll do for the amount you're paying us?
There's a lot of stuff we give away.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, I'm a man of my word.
Mm.
If it comes out accidentally, I'm going to stick to it. If I'm losing money, I'm losing money. So we try to set a bar. Hey, this is what it is. I kind of set the prices. If my truck is coming, if I throw a piece of centerpiece in there, it's not going to hurt me. It's going to make them happy. So
how do you combat customers saying you could have done this, but you didn't? Like, how do you come back with that? I mean, granted, time has passed. You can't really do anything to go back and fix it, right?
So it's more of the planning.
Okay.
We do a lot of planning, a lot of meeting notes, drawing, going at venues. We do to the point decor, Mandap cannot be screwed over. As far as I want to go back, if this is wood, it's not wood. Knock on wood, we haven't screwed up a decor yet.
Mm-hmm.
And if something does happen, we're going to fix it before that event starts. So before we leave, the photos are sent, the expectations are set at the office. We don't change, we don't do any of these things the day off.
Yeah, because there's multiple meetings with the customer, right? Like to get it going.
There's a lot of drawings, a lot of sketches, a lot of text messages, a lot of things where I cannot do it. I'm not gonna, hey, let's do it. Oh, yeah, I'll do it just to earn the buck. Hey, I can't do it. And everyone listening, that a lot of my clients will know when they hear this, like, hey, that's who I am. Like, if I cannot do it, I'm sorry. I don't want your money. I can't do it. So I don't want to ruin someone's wedding.
Customer service, right? Like, what has worked for you? Like, what is your niche? Like, what do you think has people coming back over and over?
Reviews.
Reviews?
Since internet took over, put a website out there, Yelp. Not essentially Yelp. It's more of like the Facebook, the reviews, the feedback, the go-to person from word of mouth. That's where it's really.
So being a one-stop shop, does it ever feel like maybe you're hurting other independent individual vendors? Like if you just have a DJ, just a Mandap guy,
I'm not.
Do you feel that way?
No. Because everyone has their own talent. Fight for it. My thing is, if someone comes to me, I only want Mandap. And I'm going to say, hey, who's doing your photos? Oh, I have this guy. I sit there and I'm going to promote the hell out of the guy.
Is there ever a need to say, like, yeah, I can do Mandap, but look at the photos I also do. Like, I am better than this guy. Are you at that point anymore?
I will never do that. Because the client has their mindset.
Okay.
If I ever change a client's mind, that is putting a target on myself right now.
Really?
And if someone says, hey, this DJ is the best, I'm like, yeah, he's the best. But if he sucks, I'll tell you he sucks. You should go here.
Is that an opinion they would ask of you, or do you feel the need to tell them?
I just tell them flat out. I'm not the most liked guy probably in this business. I'm honest. Because people work. The dad works all his life.
That's true, yeah.
To save up for the daughter's wedding, the food, everything. So I'm gonna be honest with him. Hey, you shouldn't hire this guy. Or hey, I can't do this. You should go here. And yeah, I lost. Everyone that knows who I am, I'll tell them, hey, let's do this. You save money. Let's do this. The guy looks at me like, yeah, I'm giving you my money right now to save. Because a wedding house, a party house, every $100 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm never after for your dollar. I'm after for your dream. So, and if other people out there, step your game up.
So I try to ask, whoever comes on the show, you're obviously at a very good place right now. Granted, I'm sure COVID's kicked you in the ass a little bit. What advice would you give to someone who's coming up in the same alley as you and is trying to compete with you today? Other than, hey, lower your prices, but like, what is something that they can do to really compete with you?
Be honest with your clients. Mm-hmm. Learn to say no.
Learn to say no?
No. If you can't do it, say no. Don't play with someone's dreams. Like our biggest thing is we don't sell hopes and dreams. We turn your dream into reality. So don't, hey, I'm gonna have bells flying behind you. You ain't gonna find nothing like you.
So just promise something you can deliver.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then now that you've gone from Singh's production to Maharaja Events, you have you have a U-Haul that pulls the limo. It's a lot of transportation involved. But I mean, you're slowly becoming a very decent type of brand. Like people know, they associate you with the name. They associate the name with you, right?
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel? Did you ever think this would happen?
Believe it or not, I never thought this would happen. Actually, I always had I want to be someone.
I mean, if you don't have a goal, what are you going to hit, right?
Yeah, and it was always a dream. Mm-hmm. And from 2012, again, I keep a track of my whole life. Mm-hmm. And I set goals. I looked at different. I was being really successful at Best Buy. So this was always in the back burner. So I was trying to juggle both. When I was let go of Best Buy, this was the only thing I had, and this was it. This was the trigger.
Do you think being let go of Best Buy was the best thing to happen to you?
Yeah, what I let go was stupid, but it's the best thing that has happened to me. I want to find the manager and say thank you. Thanks for letting me go.
I mean, they kind of gave you all the tools you needed to talk to your customers, and then they just kind of set you off if you want to look at it in a positive way.
Yeah, no, that's what I want to look at the managers. The one that let me go, hey, thank you, because I'm where I'm at today. I'm not done. I want to be somewhere else. I'm still growing. The day I stop and growing and think I'm comfortable, that's where I'm gonna fail. But everything in life taught me something where I'm at today.
So do you want to elaborate on that? I mean, you said there were instances or little like scenarios that would happen that would just kind of stick with you, and you either have to prove someone right or you're like, okay, I'll show you later.
It's more of when people, I'm going to say like flat out showed off on me, better than me in every way. Like, hey, this guy has a better camera than me. Well, okay, I've showed up with something small, but don't show off on me. Help me out right now. So that made me a better person to not do this to the next person, but I made it go in my head, I'm going to buy the damn camera, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to look at it.
Is that still there?
Yes, it is.
Do you think that's healthy?
Yes, it is.
Why do you think that?
Healthy was like...
I mean, granted, growing in the business, if someone is, showing off whatever, okay, I can do better than this, or I'll show you. But to the point where you're at today, if someone does something that kind of slides you the wrong way, do you feel like you're in a comfortable space where you can like, okay, you can go have it. I'm comfortable where I'm at.
No.
No?
Competition is the biggest thing. I compete with myself every day. Competition is, I teach my kids this. I teach my 4-year-old this. Competition.
Now, when you say competition, I don't want that to be, taken the wrong way.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't think you mean like if you have one, I'm going to buy two and really show you off.
No, it's being a better person. Don't do it to somebody else. Don't think that you have this. Oh, daddy has. Oh, this is daddy's money. I'm the rich. Da, da, da. No, don't show off to the person that's poor. That's what happened to me. So I made that a goal to myself that I'm gonna be higher than that person today or tomorrow. Jealousy is not even a question. I'm not a jealous person. I'm saying, you know what? God gave me 2 hands and arms. I'm gonna do better. But I will not treat the next person same way this guy treated me.
How do you feel about people that think, obviously who don't know you or ever really dealt with you, how do you feel about people that think everything's being handed to you?
I laugh about it because it's not true. Things were not handed to any one of us. My daddy ain't rich. His daddy had no farm. We had none of those things. So they worked hard for it. Parents helped me out.
I mean, they paved the way a little bit.
Yeah,
they gotta take off.
Yeah, so they helped me out. My parents still help me out. They guide me. My first camcorder was bought by my father. It was handed down. Obviously, it's a camcorder, but what I did with it tells me. That's something that it wasn't handed down to me. I had to sit there and think about it, looked at other stuff, saw other things around me, took other people's feedbacks and applied it, and I ran with it. Everything we did, we went and physically owned everything we sell to you, pretty much. We have it, we own it. And just for that, because it wasn't handed, we worked for it.
So, looking at today, looking at last year, we have to talk about COVID. How was COVID? What was the impact of COVID for you and your business?
The funniest thing, I brag a lot about my business to a point where it's a recession-free business. The richer, the poorer is going to get married. So I'm like, busy. I'm looking at something. Well, it's not always good to show off or brag.
So you're the reason
it kind of bites in the butt. Well, guess what? We had a lockdown. We stayed home, and I did all the homework. I was the only vendor I can say working in COVID when things slightly opened up. I had to follow the rules. We were giving deposits back, so I followed the life rules that I started doing from 2012. If it's not mine. If it's not mine, I should keep it. So the deposits were returning left and right.
So returning a deposit wasn't a big thing for you?
It wasn't. We gave over probably here and there, probably over 30,000 back. I did not pay my rent with it. I didn't do nothing with it because that's why you have a savings account.
Right.
So and those were hard-earned money.
How do you feel about some of the vendors that decided not to do the same thing?
I feel sorry for them for the future.
It's bad. I mean, it's just bad business practice, right?
Like I said, I'm in competition every day. So I'm the biggest shit talker you're gonna find in this business. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't have done this. and you didn't look out for the people that was putting food on your kid's table.
Yeah.
Well, I did. You know, they need to have food on the table. Forget about me right now.
So, I mean, looking at the positives of COVID, right? It's really I feel like it's given you a chance to try something different, come out of the traditional hall. You know, there's stuff going outside of the temple. I think there was like a park wedding, right?
We have done park weddings, barn weddings. I have never done so many house weddings in my life.
Yeah.
I haven't done a wedding in a backyard of a funeral home. I am the guy that is scared of dead people.
Who is doing this?
So guess what?
For some reason you're watching this. What are you doing?
No, and believe it or not, my mother was like, I'm like, Mom, don't even ask. So knowing my mother, she had to ask. I'm like, really? Like in back of my head, I know what's going behind it, but she had to ask and ruin it for me. Like I'm telling myself, no, it's just a hole. It's the hole. Those garages are just garages. They're not. But again, guess what? I had to put food on my table, my kid's table. So then let's do it. So and it ran. COVID has taught a lot of our community. You don't need to have 400 people to get married. I've seen the best weddings happen in COVID. And people are like, no, this is the best wedding I've seen.
So does that impact your price? I mean, I was kind of going to get to that, right? It has taught us that, like, we can have simple weddings. We should have simple weddings. But, like, the fact that you're not hosting these huge venues, does that have an impact on you?
No, I don't own the venues.
I mean, you have the mandaps and stuff.
Yeah,
like
the mandap goes in your house, goes in the backyard, anywhere. The price is still the same because you're still setting it up. If you have one person coming to the wedding for 100, the price is still the same. Yeah, if you rent chairs and tables, that's obviously. You know, we brought less chairs, we brought less table covers, less centerpieces. Yeah, you can say.
You try to stay fair with the fact that, like, you know, the mandap costs this much, they're doing less chairs, maybe try to raise the price up to make your own.
Never. That's bad business. I have clients where we have set prices. Our prices might change 200 to 500, depending on the day, the time, the location, but it never will go like $2,000 out.
So if Uncle A comes to you on Monday, Uncle B comes to you Wednesday, Uncle C comes to you on Saturday, and they all three of them ask the same thing, would you give them the same price?
Yes.
Every single one of them?
Probably $100 or $200 less or more.
So, like, when do we get to a point within the community in this business where you actually have the prices written down and the services written down?
We can't because of the venues. Some venues we have to go 3 staircases flight up.
Well, I mean, mandap is mandap, right? You can adjust the price of labor. Do you see that ever happening, or do you think that would hurt your bottom line at the end?
It will hurt me more.
Yeah?
If I add more bodies, I lose more money in my pocket. It's a business. How can we make money go on?
I mean, that's true. But what I'm trying to say, I mean, like, you go to a restaurant, you open up a menu, each food item has a price, right? They add a tip, whatever. Even, like, if you're moving something, right? They count the distance and the labor pricing, right? The point is, like, there's nothing written down. Do you see yourself getting to a point, do you see anybody within this business get to a point where prices are written down?
No. We can write prices down, but it'll be a much higher price.
Really?
So this thing is, we are stepping into different locations.
Okay.
So just like, you know, your point, it's like you eating at a restaurant. If you go to Monterey or go to Sacramento, the price is different. Sitting by the beach, you're sitting by a gold bridge that, you know, goes up and down. So with us, if we go different hall, different places we're working with, different timing, the mandap is something we can write prices down. I can flat write prices down for you and give you that these are the prices. Because I know the venue, I know how to get in, how to come out, I know the timings, I know everything.
Is there any surprises at this point with the venue, the people, like how things are going to be, or you kind of just know what to expect?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for the people that own the venues. I feel really sorry for the people that own the venue, and you know, I'm hoping the PP loans are helping you guys out. It's hard for these guys right now. Okay. But then to get through it, hang on guys, hang on. I had people come and tell me that we want to quit, hang on.
So you've pretty much monopolized the wedding game, right, within the community. So you're doing photo, video, you got DJ, you got mandap, you're adding the limo, Have you ever thought about owning a venue?
No, I'll never do it.
Why is that?
I have been told since probably
it's property. Right?
10 years of owning, go to a hall. So I said, okay, cool, I'll do it. When this guy closes, I'll open it. So I always made a target, when this guy closes, then I'll do it.
Okay.
That guy never closed, I never opened it.
Is there one you have in mind? You said you won't do it, but you're saying you'll wait for this guy, so there has to be an itch, right?
So, but I want that, yeah, so I want that this person, whoever this person that I have in mind, wherever in the magic word ever closes, then I'll do it. Because all these people that own venues are good friends of mine.
Okay.
And I hate to be competing with these people. I don't compete with people that doing one, you know.
But I mean, if you're saying you're in competition, how can you not say
I'm in competition with, when it comes to prices, not to put someone out of business. If I open a hall, like a hall business is different from a decor business.
Okay.
A hall is, you know, you can host only 5 parties in a day. If there's like 10 halls, you can only host, it's only 5 people got it.
So you have a hall, you offer the decor and everything of your caliber. Do you feel like that would hurt other businesses?
If I open a hall and do all that, yes it will.
Yeah?
Because it's an ultimate one-stop shop.
Because most of the time when people go to these halls for wedding, the hall owner is like, hey, go to Sing's Production for decoration.
Yeah.
Right? And then if you're already on your side for that weekend, you have everything covered here. There's nobody really here.
Yeah.
But it is something in the back of your mind.
It's
right?
something in the future, but COVID said no.
Yeah?
Because I was only working. I didn't have overhead. I didn't have to worry about paying $10,000, $15,000 rent. And it was more like COVID was a slap on my hands for a lot of things. You know, we were trying to grow our limo side of the business, add more exotic cars, where I was ready to bite the bullet till COVID happened.
And buy doves.
And buy doves. You know. But I'm happy I didn't because of how would I pay for it?
So creatively, right? I mean, like, you're a pretty creative guy. I mean, I remember this even 4 years ago, right? In fact, you're sitting down designing, like, the silk and how it should look, the colors would blend. I was mind blown, right? I was like 24, 25 at the time. I didn't know colors other than, like, black and gray. And this guy's talking about, this will sashay off of this. This is a good look at this lighting. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, creatively, with COVID, having your, hands tied a little bit if you're outside, do you feel like that's giving you a challenge a little bit?
It has. I have got feedback from previous clients, my, family, friends, people that, that I see here and there. They call me like, hey, dude, it's something we never seen outdoor. We never seen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm doing something good because this guy never calls me. This person never cares what I do. But they're calling me and giving me feedback that I'm doing a good job. I'm making this place look pretty.
Yeah.
It just adds more. And again, I'm a type of guy that I'm gonna look what I see on the internet. What someone did in London, someone did in Fiji. And I said, hey, they did this, I can probably take this and flip into this.
Well, you have to see what's current, right? What's happening.
And Fiji is something, it's more current than we are now.
Really?
London is more current than we are. India is way past us.
How is Fiji more current?
Fiji has stepped up their games on decor where I look stupid right now. And I'm not afraid to say it. They're doing a hell of a job. The people out there know what a dream wedding is. And I'm trying to make that mentality here. Like, hey guys, these guys are doing it there. I thought it was India the last wedding I saw, but it was Fiji.
Have you guys have you gone out of like the traditional Indian wedding for like other cultures?
Yes, we do. That was when we started getting more competition in the Indian community. So I had to step up my game. And I said, you know what? Let's venture out.
Because you have to learn about like the.
And the thing is, a lot of other cultures love our culture, our decor, our colors, our style.
It's just over the top, man.
Right? And we did a Nigerian wedding last year with our decor.
Okay.
Because they love it. But in Sacramento, there's not only Fiji people. There's from all over India. We have the whole over Middle East here. Pakistan,
so I'm talking about like non-brown, like.
Oh, non-brown.
If you are a one-stop shop, eventually just hosting Indian weddings, you got to branch out more.
So we have done more Mexican events. Quinceañeras.
Quinceañeras, okay.
Never done quinceañeras. We've done quinceañeras, a lot of quinceañera photos.
Do you do birthday parties and all that stuff?
We do birthday parties, baby showers, gender reveals. We have done one, I believe. It was mine.
Okay.
Yeah, like we do small events, but wedding hour is bread and butter. But I will never say no to anything. You know, if you want to put a backup up for something stupid, I'm gonna do it. Nobody paid for it.
Okay, so you've been here 21 years, ups and downs. You know, you had your other job, you thought that was priority, you put this in the back burner, got laid off there, really hit this one hard. Now you're here. So like, other obviously growing, branching out, but like, what are your goals for like the next 3 years?
Every event that happens in Sacramento, at least they need to stop by us and check us out.
That's a pretty simple goal.
I want every bride and groom to at least consider us.
To see what you
To
have
think
to
about
offer.
us. Don't hear that uncle said, don't go here.
I was really expecting something a little over the top. It was very realistic. Is the beer getting to you? What's going on?
I don't want to paint a picture that I can, achieve. But I know it's a path that I'm going. It's gonna, I want every bride and groom.
Right. I mean, as the right customers come along, you are obviously going to get bigger and bigger, right? Because they may say something to you and you're like, oh, yeah, I could do that. You're going to explode. Like, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself, like, you talked about exotic cars, maybe the hall one day, like, how big do you think you could make this?
I want to make it to a point where I'm in every city in California.
Have you branched out of California? Or?
We have done 2 weddings out of California. One was in Oregon. And one was in Nevada.
Shit, how was that payday? How did they convince you to go to Oregon?
We have family there. So, and we're working, but it's more of hitting every city. Like, we have so many cities out of Sacramento. And Bay Area is one of the main cities that I hit because that's where I'm from.
Okay.
So, it's been good, but that's the ultimate goal, rounding this thing up, is being in every city.
Okay.
They know Maharaja Events is here. But this is everything is gonna add up.
Yeah.
Somehow in life adds up. Me being here, you can help. It's helping me out. It's gonna help you out. Mm-hmm. And I'm here more. I want to help you out because I want to hit more views because it makes me look good then.
Yeah. See, my thing was, I just feel like there's a perception of you that I don't agree with. I don't know you personally. I don't know your family personally. I know of you and of your family. I've seen you guys around. I know what you do, and I understand the work it takes to get to where you're at. I just really dislike this perception. What do you think of that? Because you've clearly worked hard, right? Like, I've hired you as a vendor. I've seen the work you do. It takes time to build that inventory to get your name out. How do you feel about this negative perception that you have? Do you feel like it's unfair?
I think it's BS. It wasn't handed to me. It was, I earned it. I worked for it. I have given up my own birthdays. I had people in my family die where I had to ignore and go do these events. I sacrificed a lot to be here, and Daddy didn't have me no damn money.
So your boy at one point was in the hospital, medical issue. We were all there. You weren't there, so obviously the thing is like, oh, Parneet's not here. But like, this is the sacrifice part, right?
Yeah.
So where were you?
I didn't.
Right, because someone is giving you money to provide this service, right?
It's less than money. It's I committed.
Right.
To someone's wedding or event. I'm not the doctor. I can't fix him. The doctor was there. I had faith in my family. They were there. You were there. All the moral support was there. So I need to go back to the job because who is this girl gonna find? Who? No, that's not their business. What and how is happening in my family?
So you mentioned something around this scenario where like, hey, Parneet, your son is in the hospital, and you came back with, yeah, my son's in the hospital, but that's not your problem.
Yeah.
Right?
I ignored the topic. I tried like brush off, he's fine, don't worry, I'm here.
So where does that come from? Like, is that just, being in business for so long, the fact you realize you gotta make sacrifices for this business?
I wasn't even thinking business that time. It's more of, I committed, something I need to fulfill. I need to do the job.
Okay.
That's it.
So if you had to sit in a classroom environment, there's new business up and comers in anything. It doesn't have to be, event coordinating, whatever, just anything. Like, what are some key advices that you would give them that you follow that you think is very, very important to be successful?
It's not for everyone.
Yeah?
Business success is not for everyone. There are followers, there's leaders. And you need to be ready. Your mindset has to be ready. You need to be, hey, I'm ready to sacrifice all these things so I can be where I'm at today, and then I can teach this back to somebody. So, like, it's not about me being at someone's event because my son's sick or someone's dead and this and this is happening. It's more of like, hey, I signed up for this thing. I took ownership of this. I made a contract. I need to fulfill someone's thing, unless you're physically dead. But that's, if you're there, that's a different story. But it's not for everybody. Some people are not going to commit to it. If you can't commit to it, if you cannot give up your Sundays, you cannot give your birthdays, then I'm sorry, you need to go back to Monday to Friday.
So being in this game for so long, I'm sure you've seen a lot of up and comers, a lot of people, that come up really high and then they don't last very long, they disappear. What is it, something in them that you see and you're like, okay, this is the reason why, their time was short-lived?
It's the one-hit wonders, and they forgot who is important. The important people were your clients. Mm-hmm. Don't be a business person to your client. Be a friend.
Okay. Do you feel like you fulfill that piece?
Yes.
Yeah?
I have 99% of my clients are my friends. A lot of my brides, they address me as Bhaiya. They have came to my personal events. They're at my house. They're all these things, and because of the relationship we built. Mm-hmm. And I learned this at age 13 when my first job. The slogan he had, once a customer, always a friend.
Right.
And it kind of stuck in the back of my head. My goal is to make friends with these people. That's it. If they're my friends, I'm going to talk to my friends. Money is hell with that money. It's going to come. They're going to pay me regardless. But it's more of, let's do it. I'm not about, hey, you need to pay me. Money's going to come. They're going to pay me. Don't bug them, dude. Right. Be a friend. Help them out. They're in the most stressful moment of their life. A wedding. And I need to be personable.
How do you get yourself excited for every event to the point where when you talk to these customers who are going through whatever, that you give them the same energy to everyone? Especially now, right? So like before, every contract you get, it's exciting. Like, yeah, I'm going to go. More people are going to see my stuff. People know you now.
Yeah.
So if you get if you're booked every single weekend, by the time you get to the fourth weekend out of like 11, you're burned out. How do you get yourself excited? And like weeks leading up, you're still meeting with these clients. How do you give them the same energy?
It's a passion.
Okay.
The passion that I have for myself, my name, me. Like, this is, I sold them with all this passion. I made a contract. I presented myself as I am, the best thing out there. Yeah. And it's time to present it.
So that, I don't know what word you were thinking of, but I was trying to really get you to the word passion. So like, and we'll go back to this misconception, right? Mm-hmm. So you have all these materialistic things, but it's because you've really pursued a passion and you've been consistent at it for a very, very long time. So do you feel like a lot of that is missing in a lot of people today? Because like, I know you have competition, but it's maybe a handful, right? Especially within our community.
Yeah. These people are only out, I'm not going to say these people, these vendors, my friends, are out for the contract. The contract is here. The contract was written by you, not by God. Learn to surpass the contract. Learn it's not about money. Learn about we are in a business for playing with people's dreams. Mm-hmm. We need to make this dream event perfect. If I was here for the money, I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it. I can go do something else. I'm find 3 blind men and go rob a bank.
Do you feel like that's something people like don't see, is the fact that you're not after the cash flow, like you are after making sure this event is proper and whatever you get in return is like worth the investment?
To me, it's Yes. So everything I'm doing, it's obviously money's there. No one's gonna do something for free.
Right.
I can. If someone is in need of something, we have worked our numbers down, way down, where I'm just getting only pay my gas. But it's more of
the Corolla or of the Maserati?
I love my Corolla. Corolla got flipped over. Flip it over if you're watching this. I was really upset.
Was it Tiger?
So it's more of it's everything we do. It's the dream, the crying brides, and in return, I'm gonna get paid. And I take that money. I always invested in my business to grow my business,
right?
So it doesn't get old. I need to stay up to date.
Right.
I need to bring the latest and the greatest. Otherwise, someone else is going to beat me. So I have in the back of my mind, someone is being born right now to defeat me. And I'm not going to bow down. I'm going to go.
I don't know when people listen to this, what they take out of this. I mean, you can't impress everyone, no matter how well you do or how bad you do. There's always someone that will find a reason to dislike you. Some of the takeaways I've gotten is competing with yourself to be better. You have friends and the vendors, but at the end of the day, it's you and your business, right? So you have to compete, you have to stay current, do research, look at other people, what they're doing. The fact that you actually looked at Fiji and realized, oh wow, they're doing bigger things than we are, it tells you you are about your business, right? That passion, it has to be consistent, it has to be there, right? I don't think you're worried about money, because we see the lifestyle you live. This is a passion. This is something you go in and day out. And the fact that you invest. You used to work out of your living room. Now you have a warehouse. That's investing. One of the key elements you also mentioned is the inventory you have, the things people see, you own all that.
Yes, we do.
You're not a middleman between the person that comes to you and then the person you go to rent to. So these are the key elements. And this is kind of the reason why I wanted to do this sit down with you, so people understand the fact that this guy started at 18, 19, whatever, started with 15 with a video camera from his dad or whatever. He was handing out flyers, he was talking to store uncles to put his business card and all that stuff, and this is where he's at now. Perception is perception, but if you look beyond that, you look at the hustle that went in and the fact that he picked a passion, he kept going with it. That's where he is, where he's at. So we've covered all the business. Let's go back to Parneet the person. 3 kids. What happened?
I'm blessed.
Okay.
I have 3 kids. I still get looked at that I'm a young child in front of everyone. Then I'm like, no, I'm older than you are. My kids drive me. And my kids know this, my family know this, I will pick my business over my kids any day. Mm-hmm. If I don't have the business, my kids don't have food. You
kept mentioning, putting food on their plate. I hope people understand it's not literally food. It's every step is like bettering their future and the things, they're able to attain.
It's my kids have motivated me. And I tell this to everyone, once you have a kid, you can't call in sick. You have to go ask Johnny right now. Can I go call in sick? Yeah. My kid's name is not Johnny, by the way. So it's made me a better person. The baby girl that I have, it's kind of bringing a softer side of me to a point. I have a soft side, but she's making it more, softer. I have a beautiful wife. She's the biggest push I have. Like, hey, when I'm down, hey, you got this. You got it. Can't forget the mom and dad. They are like, wherever I'm at today, it's them.
That's the foundation,
right? The mother is, I can't even put anything on Facebook and social media. She's like a police. So you take this off. This is going to ruin you. This is not good for business. She's out for me, for the name, because she knows where we came from.
Right.
The dad is the motivator. Mm-hmm. It's more of, hey, it can't be done. We can't do this. Nope. We can do this. We got it. You just trust me. So he is the one that questions me. And that question would not be where I'm at today. The question got me where I'm at today. And then the mother backs the question up. He got it, don't worry. So
we talked about you having a small circle earlier. Do you feel like because you don't have this additional noise on the side, you're able to focus and pay attention to the people that are genuinely looking out for you?
I don't know how I'm small. I would love to have a little bigger circle, but it's, I'm a good guy. I like to talk, but it's more of, I don't know why I have this small, like circle. But to me, my circle is my kids and my wife. Mm-hmm. I learned this every event I go. I learn something about a family. I ask questions, and I apply it to my family. Wow. Seen a Monterey family, 2 brothers, mom and dad. The way they huddled up, the circle. I questioned them. Hey, how do you do this? So I take that applied to my life, and they said we leave the negativity outside, and that meant negative people, and just focus on your family, and that's what I've done. We still have friends, we still have family. My friends and family knows, you call me 3 in the morning, I'm going to be at your doorstep helping you out.
Right, but at the end of the day, it's a core group under your roof. Right? Yeah. You're just looking out for each other.
Everyone that lives under my house, under my roof, are important to me. As much as I love my sister, she's outside the roof. That's her husband's job to take care of her. But inside my roof, it's my responsibility.
So we've talked about business and the fact that you have, your parents and all, giving you advice, do this, do that for your business. How does that help you develop as a person? Do you feel somewhat still kind of like a bit of a child maybe? Because, you're still getting all these day-to-day advice maybe?
I do feel like a child. The world looks at me as a child because mommy and daddy are there. Shit, I'm blessed to have mommy and daddy that are actually supporting me. And I've seen where people are not getting support. So I'm happy that they're there, they support me. And that little noise inside you, I have one inside me and outside me, tells me, hey, get back in line again. You're going out. Because shit, I'm normal. I'm a human. I want to do some random stuff, but they're like my training rules. So
what is your life balance right now? You have your business, you have family, and you have time with the kids. So how do you divide all that up right now?
Before COVID, it wasn't. I love COVID. I'm sorry, people are gonna hate this. What I said right now, I love COVID.
The time
that has
not the disease.
Not the disease. The quarantine portion has given me time to spend with the kids, roll on top of the unicorn on the floor, play with them, be stupid, and kind of push back on my work a little bit. Hey, it's gonna happen. Let's play with the kids.
How old are the 3 of them?
I have an 11-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, and an 18-month-old.
So, you're a lot older now, obviously, when you had the first one. What are some of your life things that you kind of wish to see in them as they grow older, like in their teenage years? What are some of the things that you did or didn't do that you wish to kind of, see in them?
I'm gonna say nothing. I tried my best to balance both out. Everything my older one did, I tried being there, physically, or best, love our phones. We can visually see what's happening. More what could I've done to the little ones is more of just rolling on the floor, man. Going to the park, doing all those things. Like I see what you do with your kids. Like I tell them, like, hey, I wanna go. Like the phone. My mom, remember you took us to the park? She's like, yeah, there was no phones. Yeah. Now the park, I'm on the phone. They're playing. Hey, Dad, hey, whatever. I'm on my Facebook. So I like taking vacations. I take vacations a lot. Every 3 months, I need to be somewhere. I go to Vegas a lot. People know I go to Vegas a lot. I love Vegas. It's peace of mind. But before Vegas, I'm all about beach. In a different country where this doesn't work. Right. This is in my hotel room. My wife takes the pictures.
Right.
And vice versa. When we're in the U.S., she's on her phone. I'm on the phone. So I know I'm away from my phone. But I can still, in back of my head, are my clients, are my business, because they're important to me. So and I leave,
How do you see yourself as a parent if your kids ever decide to get in this game? I'm only specifically talking not the success, but all the negatives that's come with it.
I want them to be in this game doing business as part-time. I want to see them be a pilot, be a doctor, be something else. I want to see a degree. I want to see a couple of degrees on the wall that I couldn't do.
Is it a lot of the things you couldn't do you wish they accomplished?
Yeah, again, I couldn't do because I was being naive, and I hate to say this, I was running after girls. I was trying to be a chick magnet.
Sorry, Bobby.
But I tell everyone school education is the best thing. People listen to this, school education is the best thing. I tell my kids, school. Degree, get a job. This.
How do you plan on combating if you try to push school on your kids and they come back, well, you didn't pursue it, but you're doing fine? I only say that because that's the reason why I went back to school.
Everyone is not. It doesn't land on everyone's lap. Everyone is not Donald Trump.
Right.
Everyone is not Elon Musk. Everyone is not Shah Rukh Khan, as much as we want to be. It's that one person. So be yourself. Be who you are and grow who you are. God is gonna make things happen. It's gonna show you light. You need to find it. But at the same time, look at COVID as how it made us realize that having a degree, having a good job, you still stuck around.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the business, I would be sitting home right now. I was probably still at Best Buy. There are 5,000 people. I still follow the news. That I could be one of those 5,000.
So, no matter how much success you find or have found thus far, there is a small group of people that still say everything you have has been handed to you. Now, when we talk about your children, is there a fear of the fact that people said everything was handed to you by your parents? Is there fear that people will talk about your kids, whatever they pursue, that everything is handed by their grandparents, now their parents, and just kind of disregard all the success they've had?
See, with my kids, if you say that, shit, I'm gonna say, okay, cool, they got handed. They will be handed.
Yeah.
They're gonna get this stuff. They're gonna be living that life because we lived in the U.S. for long. We worked ourselves up where we are. My kids will get it, but for me, no. It wasn't handed down to me. I still don't, till this day, there's a reason that Jordan is in that box. There's a reason we still keep the coffee table. Is to realize where we came from.
Where it came from.
End of story,
What is that where we came from for your kids? What do you think that's going to be one day?
They can't say where they came from.
Yeah.
And they're not saying, hey, we came from, no, you did not. You cannot say we came from poverty, we came from Fiji. No, you did not.
Yeah.
Don't, I've seen, this struggle, no, you don't, no. They're going to do their own struggle, go to school, be successful. I'm going to give them everything they have on the table. I'm going to still make them work in the business.
Yeah.
They need to know they have to earn it. They're not going to get... Handing stuff is more like, hey, here's a key to a brand new Mercedes because you graduated high school. No.
So, like, business aside, right, just talking, as two dads here, that's how I see it. They're going to have everything they need to succeed at a point. But I feel like, when my kids reach maybe 16, 17, they're going to kind of be on their own. That thing of like, hey, Dad, I need this, I want this, I don't think it's going to be there for me. How do you feel about that?
It'll be the same way for my kids.
Yeah?
They're not going to get, like I said, oh, I graduated high school. Here's a brand new Mercedes. No. I already told them what I couldn't do is get a Supra and build it in the garage. Mm-hmm. And told Ron, I said, we'll do that. She's like, okay, cool. I'm like, here, Dad, here. No, you're not going to get a new Rolex. You're not going to get all these things because you have to earn it. Mm-hmm. You are in public school. You're going to charter school right now. I'm not putting you in private school because with the rich kids. No, we're not rich. We are middle class people. My kids are middle class people, always. And they have to know that. And I'm teaching them the value of life. Never show off. Never think, oh, we have a nicer car than they are. No. That car will take you where they're going with us too. Respect what they have, respect what we have. Everyone has a place where they can be at. Maybe you have a little better, but maybe tomorrow this person will be better than you. Mm-hmm. Love, respect everyone equally, and you'll be fine. And every time that, like, even right now, oh, Papa will buy it, don't worry, Papa got it. I said, no, Papa don't got it.
Is that like a real fear? I mean, right now they're kids. Do you feel that that's a fear that Dad will always get us out of trouble?
So, I tell my kids, Rowan is the main one, I said, Rowan, if you do something stupid and illegal, and he knows this, I will not take you out of jail. I'll forget you, I disown you in a heartbeat, and he knows that. I will disown you as my child if you do something that's not by the books. And he's only 10, 11 years old right now, and nobody will talk to their kid like this. I do. Because my parents did like this to me. Don't do stupid shit. Don't do random stuff you shouldn't be doing. Don't steal. If you go to jail for stealing, you're going to stay in jail.
You got to pay what's coming to you, right?
You know, you work for it. So you work for it, you earn it, you get it.
So as kind of, we wind down this interview, it's been quite the learning experience, like, you're not really by the books, you don't have this intellectual business background, but the thing that's key is passion, hard work, and just sticking by your guns, right? Trusting your gut, really building what you've built. There is a little bit of, I've sensed people say this or do this and, put this persona in front of me, so I'm going to show them. But drive this car, so I'm going to go rent this car and show you I'm going to work hard. Earn that car, and then I'm going to show you, like, look, you have it, I can have it too. But I'm not going to show you and other people, like, look, I'm going to rub this in your face. So I've learned that. And I hope things like that come across throughout this interview. You are loyal. You do, the things you put out, you've earned. This business you've built, you have built this from the ground up. I definitely give that to you. Talking to you, researching you the last couple of weeks, it's been really interesting. But you've really built this name on your own. The things I've figured out and learned about you, it's really like, talk about putting boots on the ground and really doing the hard work. This guy started before MySpace. Had that turnover from MySpace to Facebook. It's quite a name, within our community. It is coming into a brand. What do you have to say to the people that have kind of helped you along the way, and are continuous, being, are still there for you?
I want to say thank you to, especially my clients, believing in me and just giving a chance. We have, my parents, my mom and dad. The support, it wasn't from one person, it was from a lot of people. Everyone that supported with any advice, I took it and I applied it. I never brushed you off, so I'm better than you. No. Everyone that helped out, thank you. I still make an effort to meet people that was there. I call my first bride my lucky charm. And she knows that. She took a chance in me on her biggest day of your life. Me. So, shit, you're my lucky charm, And all these things that other clients have told me I could have done better. Guess what? Next day they see me, I'm making a difference. So that feels good. And same thing, people when we said, hey, we can't do this. The word can't was the motivator. Hey, doesn't exist in the dictionary. We're going to make it happen. We're going to do it. So, thank you to everyone that's had passion, and people enjoyed giving me feedback, enjoyed hiring us. We're a big family, We're a very small community. Fiji people need to stick together. We need to grow together. And we're going to make it happen. So, a dream wedding is very important. A dream event is very important. You dream it, we're going to make it happen. So, hire us.
I appreciate you coming on, brother. I appreciate your time. Check out Maharaja Events. It's quite the name. Check out their Facebook. There are YouTube videos that shows, the work they've put in. Ask the people that have hired them. I'm sure you'll hear, good reviews. There's a 4.8, 4.9 out of 5-star review. They're doing phenomenal work, man. Check out the family. They're doing video, photo, weddings, decorations, decor. I mean, if the Facebook and all that stuff doesn't do you, doesn't convince you, look out for their U-Haul truck, man. You'll see them. You'll see them. Thank you for joining 2 Beers and a Mic, man. My name's Alan Prasad.